Hey guys, my name is Freedom. Today I'm going to show you how to create any trees for iClone 8 3D animation software. This is really your custom tree. You can see this is really a tree 3D models that created by me, and now it is already in iClone. I can just modify it anytime. It is already rigged. I can just change it to whatever shape that I want. And initially, actually, I just have this picture, the tree leaves texture, and also the tree trunks texture. And start from zero, start from nothing. How am I going to create the custom tree just for your iClone 8 3D animation software? How to make this? Alright, first I'm going to show you all the step by step. Start from Blender. Blender is a 3D modeling software. It is really awesome. And it is really easy to start everything from here. This is Blender 4.2.1 for today. First, I'm going to press A and press delete button to just delete everything. And next step, just add mesh, add a cube. Once already done this step, then click the cube, go to the modifier, add search subdivision, right, so start all over, add a modifier, search for subdivision surface, then go to the edit mode, then start from here. First, I'm going to determine the height of the tree. Right, if I press S, it is going to just make it small. Alright, always remember in Blender, for all of these grids are 1 meter times 1 meter. So first I choose here, click and choose the surface, then press X, press E to extrude to the height that you want this tree to be, maybe a few meters, like this. Then click and press A to select all, right click, subdivides, then subdivides, wait, it's not here, Ctrl Z. We just use the loop cut just for the cross sections. Loop cut, click here, then just make it more like this. So this will be the trunk. Next, we are going to set up some branch. So I click here, select the surface, back to the surface, back to the selections. Let's say here I want to add a trunk. Then I click and press E to extrude, and press S to just make it smaller first. Then I press E to extrude like this. Alright. Then just move it up like this and rotate a little bit. Then from here we are going to have a loop cut again. Click and just set a loop cut here. Then number of cuts you can just adjust like this. And then actually you still can move all of this. Just for example, you can select, click and select all of this. Then actually you can move it, you can rotate it as well. So this is just an example of a branch. And here I'm going to just switch it back to here. Then maybe I want to increase the height. Alright, I may select this face and press E to extrude again. Then have a loop cut again. So you have the completely freedom to just manipulate your tree. Next is the root part. Click the selections, the surface, click, and then press S to make it bigger, and press E to extrude a little bit. Now, this one can consider as the root of the tree. right? Then you may just press A and just move everything up to make sure the roots is close to the XY plane, like this. Then back to the object modes. At here, we are going to add some leaves. Just add. But before you add some leaf, you are going to rig this. So just add an armature. And make sure you already selected that armature. Click here. Viewport display, make sure it is in front. And then click the armature. Go to the edit mode. Just move the head up to the top like this. Then click the center part, right click, subdivides to just make it a few sections in this way, so that later you can bend your tree. So at this part, you are going to rig it as well. So click this head and just click the X to make sure it is at XY plane, or you can just click Y or negative Y to make sure you view in this way. Then press E to just extrude it to here. Then press E again to extrude to the end of the branch. Click the center, right click, subdivides a few times in this way. Then next, back to the object mode in this way. So once you already have the rigs, we are going to bind the skin with, click the branch, click the trunk together, right? Click, then hold the shift, click the bones, then just Control P with automatic width. Now, if you click the bones, then go to the post mode. Just click any one of it. You can bend it. See, this is really easy. Right. So Control Z, just to back it to the original space. Next, back to the object mode, we are going to create the leaves. To create the leaf, it is really easy. Just add a mesh. Just for example, if you want to add a cone in this way, you can just make it become the leaf. If it is the conifer, like this. But for this case, I don't want this shape. I may just simply add an isosphere in that way. So I may just make some shape in that way. Up. Until here. Next, I'm going to add one more. I will add from here, add a mesh. It can be any shape, it can be a circle if you want, but I would prefer the isosphere. This is called icosphere. So just move it here. Then click the X, make sure it is at here. This is just a branch. And press S to make it small that way. So for this, I'm going to just rescale it here. Alright. If you feel satisfied already, next we are going to just make sure everything reset to 0. So click the empty space and press A. Then Control A, set all transform. Then click the trunk and the branch. Back to the modifier. This modifier of the subdivisions, just click here to apply. Alright, so now let's again click the main leaf, then hold the shift, click the skeleton, Control P with automatic weight. Now you bind it together. This one's also the same. Hold the shift, click the branch, then Control P with automatic weight. Now click the skeleton, go to the pose mode. We are going to test it. Now you can see everything already success. You can adjust the branch here. You can bend it in that way. So Control Z, make sure it back to the original position. So next, what we need to do is just set the texture. Now I have this texture and also the tree trunk. So click here to turn on the texture. Click back to the object mode. Click the trunk and the branch. Then go to the material, just add a new one. The base color, change it to image texture. Then open. Open from the desktop, the tree trunk. Next, we are going to click it, go to the UV editing. And here. Just turn on the texture so that you can see everything. Next, make sure here, click an empty space and press A to select all. Then go to the UV, Smart UV project, unwrap. So now you can see all already set properly, the tree trunk and the branch. Next, back to the layout, object modes, click. So just now you can see material 001, this is the tree trunk and the branch. We have to name this material properly. Just double click it, rename it as trunk and branch. Alright, next we are going to set up for the tree leaves. Also just click it, plus new. Under the base color, just choose the image texture. Then click open. From the desktop, the tree leaves down. Ready in that way. Next, here, click, go to the UV editing. From here, click the empty area, press A to select all. Then click UV, Smart UV project. Then click unwrap. Alright, next, press A, make sure you select all, and here click the empty area, press A, and then press S just to reselect it until you feel it is suitable. You can see here I just make the UV to be big or small. Make sure it is at a suitable scale, like this. Once done already, next back to the layout again. Here, click this small branch, and then at here, under the material, plus new. So you may choose the one just now, material 001. Sorry, this one's you can just minus it. We don't want to add a new one. Just choose the existing, the material 001. Double click to re-edit it. Name it as leaves. Alright, so now totally you have a trunk branch material, you have leaves. Then for this one, go to the UV editing. just press A, then UV, Smart UV project, click unwrap, and then at this part stem, click here, press A, select all, press S to just resize it so that these ones they will match the size, look like the same. Once done already, back to the layout, and again you can press A, and again Control A, make sure all transform. Then save this as a blend file first. Click File, Save As. On the desktop, I'm going to name this as 302 and save as. Then export as FBX. Click File, Exports FBX. The path mode you have to choose copy, and here have to select it. This setting is to make sure of the material texture embedded inside the FBX file. Export. Now it will become an FBX file. It is at here. Now we can use it in iClone. Wait. Before that, you have to make sure this one is already bind. You can see this is the cube. Then 1, 2, these are the leaf. So we name it properly first. This one, just name this as trunk branch. For this one, leaves branch. This one, leaf means that again export as FBX file. This one we don't want, we just delete it. We have to make sure everything name it systematically. File exports FBX, copy, export. Now we may test it in iClone. This is the iClone 8 3D animation software. I'm going to test it here. So just drag in the FBX file. You can see this tree is quite tall, and we can see actually you have two material. You can change the color of the material if you want. Just for example, right click, adjust color, just change the hue. You can see you can change the color of the tree just for any season. Just change the hue. Can be any color. Usually it will be the autumn, it will be the spring. See? For the branch, you can change the color just by using the diffuse. You may just make it darker. You can make it bright. You can add some color, change it. It is up to you. It is really easy. By default, it is white color. Okay. And you can just double click and press R to resize it. These are two different trees that you can see. It is already in iClone 8 3D animation software. Next, I'm going to show you how to use the skeletons, the bones for the tree. Just double click it, go to here, click the edit animation layer. And here you can see the skeleton of the tree. You can just double click at any of the skeleton and press E so that you can bend it to any direction. This is really easy. Just bend it. You can see this and change the direction. For any parts, you also can bend it. Alright. That's all for today about my tutorials on how to create any trees, any of your custom trees, just by using the Blender, and also a piece of the tree texture and a piece of the trunks texture, the wood texture. You can create any trees you can do the 3D modeling in Blender to create any shapes of the trees and import it into iClone 8 3D animation software to make it become a tree props in your iClone 8 so that you can use it in any of your 3D animations. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you love my videos, tutorials and sharings, if you feel all these tutorials and sharings are very helpful to your 3D modeling, 3D animations and 3D game developing, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and also turn on the mini bell and select all so that when next time I publish a new videos, tutorials or sharings, you will receive a notification immediately. See you in my next video. Enjoy! Happy 3D modeling, 3D animations and 3D game developing. See you!